Good morning, everyone. Ron Nicolini along with Brian Nato, and it is another sultry day here in South Florida. 12 races on tap. We got a fast-made track, firm turf course. Of course, the all-weather Peter and Brian. $1.1 million gross jackpot guarantee in the Rainbow Six.
Big balloons, and if you saw the pool yesterday, I think that $1 million magic number, boy, they bet it hard yesterday, Ron. So this is going to blow way past 1.1 million. They're going to send it in today on a good Saturday of racing, a good feature in the Gulfstream Park Sprint as well. I'm really looking forward to it, and that's a giant number, Ron. That is life-changing.
Yeah, if you get that. And don't forget, 1 week from today, it's Fountain of Youth Day with 9 stakes on tap. So see if it could last to them. But that's the beauty of this. You got a chance to take it down each and every day and come to the Fountain of Youth as a millionaire.
And we're going to draw that card today as well, right? So you'll have those PPs early and start, as I like to say, scuffing them up, Ron.
Well, we're going to get right into the card because, as we mentioned, we got 12 to talk about. Not a lot of scratches on the card today. First one is a mile on the turf. Is Claim is 4 and up. Non-winners of 2 races in life. 20 down to 16. Nice full field of 12 to kick off the early pick 5.
Yeah, we'll take a look at my ticket here. It's got my long shot in the opener, and that's the 3, Impulsiveness. 15 on the line. Very early in the betting, taking a little action in race number 2. Number 9 now we scratch in. That was the Wildcat Star. The 8 is out of that race a little bit late on that scratch. Probably the one meaningful scratch on the entire card. Slim Slow Slider is my single. I got a lot of 2s in there, Ron. 82 is the order in race 4, and then you can see 4 deep in race number 5 with Mandy Green on top for me. That's a little bit of a spread race. That's a $48 early pick 5 ticket.
$48 ticket, and let's start it off with the course that's currently 2-1, and the horse I did have on top of my ticket, and that's Good Soldier, who's going to the Gustavo Delgado barn after the Claim, used his speed to defeat 20 maidens. That was going a mile on the turf. I found the stat on Gustavo Delgado first after the Claim, all levels. He's 16 for 60, 27%, 52% in the money, and a $1.80 return of investment. Now, if you do it with turf, he doesn't do it too much with turf. I think he's 1 for 9 with turf, but he doesn't run that many turf runners.
Right, so that's not significant to me that I'll say just 1 for 9. He's got it done. This is the horse to beat. There's no doubt about it. But you know what we've seen over the last 3 or 4 days especially? We've seen hot horses off the Claim coming up and tackling winners, and it hasn't worked out. Good Soldier certainly is the one to beat, but, you know, he's got to face winners today. That sometimes can be a rude awakening for a horse.
Well, let's hear about your long shot, and here's definitely taking some money up there. Impulsiveness, you got to go back 3 starts for a real good race, when this horse was claimed.
Yeah, so let's look at the turf races 3, 4, 5, and 6 back. Now, I understand that's further back in the form cycle, but, this is now off the Claim for Cheryl Weinbach, who's done a really, really good job. She's very selective in her starters and the horses that she brings down from, the Midwest, but she's done a good job. She did a good job last year at the championship meet. Hey, Lionel is here. He's booted a lot of turf long shots home. He's booted a lot of turf long shots home in race 1, too, by the way. I just feel like this horse has a chance, Ron, to get back to his best form or get close to it, and that would put him in the mix against a group like this.
The number 12, Sir Samuel, is beating the neck on the turf versus this level of competition as the favorite 2 starts back. Goes back to the grass. Now, they stepped him up last time. He finished 4th against those 2 lifetime claimers going around 2 turns on the Peter from Mike Morrison. You get in the Apprentice. He's got to deal with the demanding outside post.
It's not ideal. It's a real problem. Angel Morales has impressed me over the last month or so. I think he's riding. I think he's starting to find his form a little bit and get comfortable in a world-class jockey's room. He's done a good job. He's going to really have to do a good job from out there, though.
It's really nice. Brian's got his long shot, and the one to beat, as we said, is the number 4 race. Number 2 is going to be about 5.5 on the Tapeta Maiden, claiming fillies advanced, 4-year-olds and up, $12,500. And we did have a scratch in here, and was a sort of a late scratch. Not late for you people. We got it, as we were working to come on the air. But that is the number 8 Wildcat Star. Samantha's got an early pick 4 ticket together. And let's see. So she's 3 deep in here. We'll talk about this race. She's got your horse in here, Slim Slow Slider in race number 2. In race number 4, she's got Silky Warrior on there with Blonde on a Mission. And then in lots of coverage like you did too, Brian, in race number 5. She's got 4 horses in there for a nice $24 ticket.
Yeah, and she's using a price here. I guess it's a good segue to Martha Mehouvier because they were going to bring up a replay of her. Samantha pulled the replay. She'll be up with a little later with us as well. And this is her down inside. And Wildcat Star, of course, now that was the kind of sort of late scratch. She's out of here a little bit, but this is Martha coming through down on the inside. I think as a general rule of thumb, Ron, it's not the end-all, be-all, but being down inside on the Tapeta is a little bit of a tough trip to pull. She comes through down on the inside, and, you know, she ran pretty well. This is that race 2 back, and she ran pretty well to be third. You can kind of see her stuck in neutral a little bit down there, but I think getting off the rail, she's going to have Lasix today for the first time as well, which could be significant because there's not a lot in here. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, you know, and she was always on my ticket. She wasn't on top of my ticket. I always had the number 7 Juno C on top of my ticket, who's 5-2 and actually the morning line favorite. This one moved to the Amador Sanchez barn after the claim. Drops to this level, first start since facing better. Now it was back in last March. A daughter midshipman. I think, as you just mentioned, I think finds a really cozy spot to return to action. No one scares me, especially now with the scratch of Wildcat Star.
No, I agree with that. I had Wildcat Star on top. I moved Juno C up to 4th. I mean, I don't know. The one thing I do know is that Amador Sanchez didn't claim her for a quarter in last March to run her back for the first time on February 25th. Is she going to be favored in here? That would be a heck of an underlay. But, you know, if she gets to her best race, she's the horse to beat. I don't know. It's tough to trust, right? Or tough to what to make of her.
Just a wide open race there. So, and then once again, scratch that 8 Wildcat Star. Race number 3 this afternoon is 7 furlongs allowance optional claimer for state bred 4-year-olds and up. The tag is $20,000. Scratch the number 6 horse in here, Cross Haste, and the 2 horses, one of your singles, so take it away.
Well, isn't he just better than this group? Slim, slow, slider. You look at the last 3 races, and those are the 3 races for Peter Walder. All of them beat this field. Now, there are horses in this race that have races to contend with Slim Slow Slider. Pete's going to have a heck of a time because he's going to call this horse's name often today. But those horses with the good races, they aren't every race, and he's going to run an 82 buyer today like he always does, and that's probably just going to be too much for this group.
Yeah, just, you know, turning back to 7 furlongs, didn't run well in its only previous race at the distance, and you see second in his last 3 races. Yep. So if you want to play devil's advocate, maybe look somewhere else for a horse, maybe like the 3 September 10, who's 5 for 10 in the money at the distance, so you knew I was going to pay attention to that. Turns back after finishing third as the favorite, going that 1-turn mile. Jose Ortiz going to jump aboard for Jose Garofalo.
Yeah, he's 5 for 10 in the exacta, too, and I know Ronnie likes that, and I agree with him. 7 furlongs is a tricky distance. That was an open company starter optional claimer last time, too, and he did pretty well. So this is a drop for him, and he makes sense in here. He wasn't that far behind Slim Slow Slider 2 starts
Easy
back.
for you to say.
Yeah, right.
And the number 4, Universal Payday, just on the drop, you would think would be a needed class relief today for Carlos Perez and Edgar Perez. We got Perez squared.
We got the same super there. I mean, I know I post my picks early, but I know you. Jeez, Rock.
Way before my pick. Everybody knows my picks are on the air. Days before you guys do anything. Mile in the 16th on the Tapeta claim is Phillies and Airs 4 and up. Non-winners of 3. Scratch the long shot in there. Number 3, Sweet Actress, that Tammy Levy horse. And boy, I like this horse this afternoon, Blonde on a Mission, who's undefeated in his 2 earlier races on the Tapeta. Albeit now, that was at Woodbine. Drops to the 8 level here after sightseeing trip against the condition claimers, going around 2 turns on the turf for Billy Theranos. He won the nightcap yesterday in the Jiggy Jog, so we'll see if he can get this one. I spoke to him a little bit last night, and he loves this horse today.
Billy has been in very, very good form on and off the track, and this horse is going to be really tough in here, and no surprise. And she's going to be a short number in here as well, 7-2. You will not get 7-2 on her, and just this barn has been very, very sharp, winning races, but Billy puts his horses in spots where they're supposed to contend, can win races, and I think that's just what Blonde on a Mission is. She was in for 20 last time on the turf. That's not her thing, but the other beauty about this too is we've talked about the Woodbine horses coming down here, maybe needing a start. Well, she's got it now. This just looks like the all systems go angle, Rob.
Not maybe. It seems like it's coming to fruition with that. It really does. Castena is the British bred, moves to the Melanie Giddings barn after the claim dual cool through the stretch, finished a close-up third. It was less level going a mile 70 yards with Sean Bridgman had a win the other day. So this horse figures in there, but it just Blonde on a Mission looks tough to me.
I agree with everything you just said. You know, Kent Sweezy did a good job. Now we're off the claim. Can we maintain that claim? Those races are good enough to win this. I just like Blonde on a Mission a little bit better.
Now, race number 5 this afternoon, a mile in the 16th on the turf. Claim is Fillies and Mares 4 and up, non-winners at 3, or race since August 25th. And this has the ever-exciting middle pick 4 this afternoon when we have a 12-race card. And I think Samantha might have put a ticket together, and we'll check it out. And she's got, well, like you did, lots of coverage here in race number 5. Race number 6, she's got 3 horses on it ahead of Roar, and I think Owaka is going to run well except for that post. And then race number 7, Too Deep, and she's got the 2 and the 5 being Concrete Glory. It looks tough in there. And then the last, in the 8th, I should say, the 6 and the 9, Chasing the Crown, and Sousa Summer, $30. And I guess this race is wide open as far as our handicappers are decided. Brian, I went with the 6 in here, Spectacular Gal, who signaled to me she can handle the grass when she stalked the pace and finished second in front of a pair of next out winners at this level and distance for Mike Maker. He's got Jose Ortiz named to ride. I read most of our top riders. Well, we got a lot of great riders here, but other guys are out of town doing spread out around town. So there's nothing you read into that Jose's got the mount from Irad. Irad's not here today.
Yeah, and she's favored on the morning line, and she should be. This is the horse to beat. I don't really think there's any question. Now, her margin for error is a slim one, but that race last time, that's the race everyone's got to get to, and if she improves off of it, she will be tough in here. I don't think there's any doubt.
Well, I want to hear about Mandy Green, this one from the Edgar Bayer barn. They're going to take the blinkers off this afternoon.
Well, I just think that in and of itself is a big deal. Edgar Bayer has done nothing wrong, and he's been very crafty in where he's spotted his horses. This horse taking a significant class drop, Ron, and out of a starter, or out of an optional claimer, against much better, where she didn't do a lot of running. I get that, but she was also 35 to 1. 6 to 1 would be a juicy price. I don't think you're going to get that at all, but I think, you get her at 7 to 2 or so. That's square on a horse that's got some class to her and has races that stack up nicely with Spectacular Gal.
The number 4, Amazing Queen, is stretching out to the mile and the 16 after a solid outing on the grass in which she rallied to get the lead before settling for second against those 35 condition claimers going a mile. His Billy Theranos again. I found a stat I want to show you here. Third start off a 180-day layoff. On the turf, he's 3 for 9, 33%. Overall, he's 10 for 36, 28% on all surfaces. Those are good numbers for me, and I just think this horse with Edgar Zayas atop the previous winner at the distance is going to run well in here. And you're getting 8 to 1. And so I don't know if you're going to get 8 to 1. I like this horse today.
Yeah, and she had a trip last time, too. She was pushed widest onto the far turn while the winner came up inside and saved all the ground. It was a slow race for the level. She's got to run faster, but the stat says she's going to do it. Billy Theranos probably says she's going to do it, too, because, like we said, he's been in such good form of late.
And the number 2, Stuck Crazy. I really toyed with making this one my long shot this afternoon, but I just didn't pull the trigger. Debuting locally for Ben Perkins Jr., making his first starts, finished third. It was a fruitful 40-starter optional claimer at Delaware last August, produced a trio of next out winners. Of course, that was a long time ago. It's a daughter of Vancouver. I like what this outfit does, so I was toying with this one, 8 to 1 in the morning line. I'm glad to see you pick this horse.
Well, I almost picked this horse on top, and I'll tell you what, you have to use this horse because, as you can see in your racing form, Ben Perkins hasn't run a horse here all championship meet. She's here to fire. This is not, to me at least, this is not some tightener. Don't forget Monmouth Park, New Jersey. Well, they're not going until the middle of May. This horse is here to run today.
The race number 6 today is about 5.5 furlongs on the Torpedo. It's a claim of Fillies and Mares 4 and up. Non-winners a 2 in life. Scratch the number 5, Barracuda. And I went with the number 11, and you did with the number 11, Owaka, who is stretching out the 5.5 furlongs. Having steady going into the turn last time out.
This is my best bet of the day. And she, to me, is clearly the horse to beat. She gets a good post because she's got speed. You look through this race, and oddly enough, Ron, now after the scratch, there's 11 horses in here. oddly enough, there's not a lot of speed in this race, so I don't think this post is a problem at all. She's got the Hall of Famer Javier Castellano to negotiate it as well. The other thing I like, too, is all those route races, and she got back to a sprint last time, and you could have said maybe, you know what, maybe this is a little sharp for her. Maybe she gets run off her feet. No. She runs huge in that race. To me, she's only moving forward. Like I said, my best bet of the day.
The number 2, Air to the Roar, is making the third start of her current form cycle. Rally late, she finished third behind the horse we were just talking about in their recent clash at 5 furlongs. Ray Yanez, Leonel Reyes handling that rematch today.
Yeah, and she's, you see her form, it's moving forward and on the figure scale. So the third start, typically you're going to get your best shot. My worry here is in a big field down towards the inside. She doesn't have a lot of early speed. That could be a little tricky off the far turn.
And Vigil Anna on the drop certainly figures in here. Daughter Violence, a little bit of a shaky call on that voided claim last time.
Voided claim, yeah. And yeah, she's not going to be favored in here. I think the money's going to Oaxaca, but that's a worry to me, as Ron said. The voided claim is, tread a little lightly there.
We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we will have my Rainbow Six ticket.
This is a championship meet.
Yeah.
All the best jockeys in the world are here, and I'm excited to ride against them.
We back.
And you get to watch some really incredible, talented athletes out there.
Yeah.
To us, it's a place to be in the winter.
I love Gulfstream Park because of the racing.
The palm trees, the beach is right here. The horse racing is some of the best in the country.
A lot of good horses come out of here. And if you want to go to the next level, Gulfstream Park was the place to come.
I remember the first time I came to Gulfstream, it was like this big fairy tale place. All the history.
Shoemaker sitting perfectly still. He hasn't touched this magnificent colt, and here comes the finish.
And all these great horses, trainers, jockeys. It was everything that I ever dreamed of.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today, 11:31 a.m. The 7th race is where the Rainbow Six is going to start. Don't ask me why I said that.
We'll be too deep next Saturday, by the way, at 11:30. Yeah. We'll be running the second next Saturday.
That's right. Yeah, we'll be talking about that throughout the week. We had 11 a.m. post. So let's go right to my Rainbow Six ticket here. And you can see I got coverage all the way down. I got the old reverse pyramid. Race number 8, I like Chasing the Crown, Sousa Summer, and Hoku. In race number 9, Candyman Rocket. I used Uncle Ernie, and I had to use Scaramouche. If this thing explodes up front, this horse is going to come running late. In race number 10, my long shot, it's 8-1, is Wonka from Billy Mott. In race number 11, got some coverage. And, I'm singing Carl Spackler in the last, at least I got that going for me. So the number 8 horse in there.
He's going to be 2-5, and he looks it. And I like this ticket because you got the anchor. Let's spread a little bit. Let's root for some chaos in some races. There's going to be a lot of people playing the Rainbow Six like that today.
Well, interested to see how you started this race off in here, Brian. I went with Concrete Glory. I don't know where you went.
I got him in second, and I think it makes sense because just look at him on paper. He's been very, very fast. He's going to be a short number in here. He's 7-5 on the line, and that's right, because those 2 races of late, and one of them was off the claim for Safi. The other one was with Gerald Brooks. They've been crazy fast, Ron.
Yeah, he really has been fast. 3rd consecutive victory. He's going for Jose Ortiz in the saddle. You did go with Danville. Is turning back to this distant debut locally for who? Cheryl Weinbach.
Yeah, I took a little shot in here. I liked that win last time. I thought it was a really, really good effort. And just maybe Concrete Glory gets hooked a little bit, or maybe he regresses off 2 monster races. And I think Danville's coming in the right way for, again, a barn that's, I'm hoping Cheryl Weinbach has a day today.
The number 6 horse, something Brian excels at, Uncorked the Bottle, a 2-time winner at the distance, 4 starts, 2 wins, going 7 furlongs. Stretches out after breaking from the rail, finishing an even 3rd behind Concrete Glory last time out. Hey, 2 for 4 at 7 furlongs.
Hey, it's Rohan, too, and Rohan's starting to get going again. He was just a little bit slow start to the championship meet. I think the number was about 3 for 39, and now you look up, and all of a sudden, he's up to 8 or 9 wins. This horse is a player as well.
Sorry.
Yeah,
right. No, I was going to say Frosted Armor here, Samantha Pull. I almost put this horse in 3rd.
I feel like this is probably her long shot or one of the ones in here. And here's the replay down here. And this is the race on January 1st, so this was the last start. He runs third in this spot here. It was a decent effort. I thought this horse had a pretty good trip. I know he struggles maybe a little bit to get out. You would have thought, though, these were two duelers up front. You're going to see this race completely falls apart in deep stretch. Maybe in hindsight, he was a little too close to the pace that falls apart, but, you know, it was a solid enough effort. And I do think Rohan's got something to work with here. And, hey, Rohan's 35% off the claim.
Yeah, I thought this horse had a shot. I was torn between putting that horse, like I said, on my ticket. I did use it fourth, but did not use it on top. So now we're going to go to race number 8, and this is 7.5 on the turf. Allowance optional claim of 4-year-olds and up. The optional tag is $25,000. Scratch the number 3 horse in here, War Terminator. Kicks off final pick 4 of the afternoon, and Brian's got a ticket.
No, pick 5.
Pick 5. Oh, this is
yeah,
Samantha.
Samantha's got a
12
ticket.
races. I'm thinking 11. 12 races. So Samantha. Let's go. Oh, she went deep again in race number 8.
And she's got, you know, everything I kind of think falls in order a little bit with the single to Carl Spackler at the end, who's going to be a really short price and was really good on debut for Chad Brown.
Yeah, it ran well. A nice $36 ticket. And I started off, Brian, with the 9 Chasing the Crown, is turning back just a little bit. Came off an 8-month layoff to stalk the pace and get the lead, actually, in that race. Finished third. It's Mike Maker.
Yeah, this is clearly the horse to beat. I thought this horse held very, very well in a good race last time when the horses that were close early were 5th, 7th, and 8th late. So I think it flatters him that much more. And now, as you kind of said, we're second off today. You could be moving forward in a big way.
And you know, I like the price on Hoku, 8-1 on the morning line. This one is turning back to 7. Set the pace, faded. It was against 35. Talking about a barn that does good. Kelsey Dana, Lionel Reyes, lightly raced son of morning line.
Yeah, and this horse was just put in a really tough spot last time, going 1.5 miles off one race. So I think the cutback today, I think the experience he got last time, I don't really think he wanted to be on the lead, but he kind of fell onto the lead that day because nobody else went. This horse has got a lot of talent. You go back and watch that debut race at Tampa, really, really good effort, and Kelsey does a good job.
Well, Sousa Summer I find so interesting. He's stretching out around 2 turns. He rallied to finish second, going 5 furlongs for Billy Mott. Seems like a strange thing to do for Mott's barn.
I got to be honest with you, I don't know what to make of him because he's sprinting all those races. The routes, they were okay, but I think the sprints were better. I think that guy's in the Hall of Fame, though, so I mean, in Bill we trust.
So let's go to race number 9. Here's our feature race of the afternoon, 6 furlongs, 4 and up. It is the $125,000 Gulfstream Park Sprint. Full field up, 7 will go to the post. And here is the pick 4 of the afternoon.
And they're not beating Candyman Rocket today. He's a single. He's going to win. We'll talk about him in a second. We'll get through this race. Chad Brown's got an interesting newcomer in Chili Flag. Race 11 is a problem race to me. I went with American Prince, and then there's old Carl at the end, and I think that's an anchor. I do not want to invest a lot, Ron, in this sequence because I think we have 3 to 5s to bookend it.
Yeah, Carl Spackley's going to be a big hitter in that race there. So getting back to this race, you're right about Candyman Rocket. He's going to make it 3 in a row. He returned from an 11-month layoff to win.
I can't wait to see him. I think it's so exciting. This horse is going to win Grade 1 races this year. That's how much I think of this horse. You go back and watch his race last time. It was utter domination. And I can guarantee you Bill Mott's so excited to start him today because look at his form. This is a horse that has problem getting to the races. He's going to put 2 in a row back together. As long as he can stay healthy, look out for Candyman Rocket this year.
The number 5, Uncle Ernie, is turning back to 3/4 of a mile after his 2-race win streak. At that 6-furlong distance ended, where he set the pace, he yielded at the 8 pole, went 4th in the 7-furlong Grade 3, Mr. Prospector. I love the work that John Service does. You're getting Javier Castellano. It's a gelded son of talent search. You know, we got tries. We got supers. I think this horse could be on the ticket.
Yeah, I don't know if he just wasn't up to the task in the Mr. Prospector. And, of course, Sibelius is on to Dubai for Jerry O'Dwyer, and he's all right. I also wonder if he got exposed a little bit on the class rise. We'll see. He's back to 6 today. Maybe that's the thing. Those Parks races, Ron, horses come dressed up a little bit out of those races.
Well, the number 1, Scaramouche, who won the Grade 2 Gallant Bob at this distance with a late charge, he might sit in the catbird seat if they go up there and they start looking, you know, these horses in the eye. And Guadalupe Preciado, Paco Lopez handling the inside post.
Yeah, and he maybe... I had him second choice on my line. Maybe he falls through the cracks. I don't know, but you said it perfectly. There is plenty of speed in this race. We'll talk about Super Ocho in a second. Scaramouche is eligible to trip out nicely.
Yeah, it really is. You keep going back, and it's speed. And here's the horse that doesn't come from the clouds, can stalk, can be close up to the pace. So you mentioned Super Ocho, the Chilean bred from Amador Sanchez, going to run without the Lasix today. MC El Jaramillo.
Yeah, we got a quick replay of him, and he is freaky fast, this horse. He's going to be betting here. I think he'll be second choice in this race. He will not be the third choice in here. He's going to be bet because he's crazy fast. You see him. Ron, he threatened to win the Breeders' Cup Sprint here. I mean, this is a monster effort. He falls apart a little bit late, but this is how fast this horse is. They're talking about bringing this horse to Dubai. I mean, he laughed at horses last time at Delta, and he is... You will not have to look hard to find him. He'll be in front in here.
Yeah, he'll be part of that pace that we were just talking about here. Let's go quickly to race number 10, about 7.5 on the turf. Allowance optional claimer, fillies and mares. These are 4 and up, 25,000. I got my long shot in here. It's Wonka, who's cutting back just a little bit today after leaving from a demanding outside post, dueling throughout and holding on gamely to defeat 25 optional claimers going a mile. A lot of horses, could not do what this horse did from that post. It's Bill Mott. He's great, 26%. Well, let's show you this stat on Bill Mott. Winner last out on the turf right here at Gulfstream Park. He's 8 for 38, 21%, 42% in the money, and that's a positive return of investment because it is Bill Mott.
This is the start of Pegasus Day last time. I cannot tell you how much I disliked this horse last time. So for her to win just started my day off in a terrible fashion. But Ron makes a lot of good points. And now with that race outside to inside, she is a threat in here.
The number 7 Chili Flag is where you went, and this is the French bred making her North American debut for Chad Brown.
Yeah, I mean, she's going to add Lasix. She comes out of solid efforts overseas, and Chad is just potent with this. Michael Dubb here is here as well. Jose Ortiz is here. I would think this horse, Ron, is very, very dangerous here. Chad's got another one with the same kind of similar situation with Spanish Baroque outside. Spanish.
The number 6, Sweet Serenade. I think we have a video we want to show you, who we both used in second.
Yeah, take a look at her, and she's another one breaking from the parking lot last time. So here she is in the 11 hole here, and this is, don't forget now, White Frost is going to win stakes races this year. For Bill Mott, I would think she's already won stakes races, and this was White Frost off the long layoff. This was a solid effort by Sweet Serenade. Oh, by the way, at 79 to 1, so the public probably is going to see that. She's 8 on the line. A lot of times, I mentioned this yesterday, the betting public sees that. They don't want to come back to her. Ron, this was a good effort. Don't sleep on this horse today.
This would have been, I'm looking for a long shot. Yeah. This would have been my top pick on there. So that's how much I think this horse is going to run well. Emma Jane Wilson riding for Roger Atfield. We mentioned the 7 in there. And now let's go to race number 11. 1 mile allowance optional claimer for 4-year-olds and up. That optional tag is 25,000. Scratch the number 10 horse in here, Stat. You went with the number 8 horse in here, and that's American Prince from Mr. Mike Maker.
Yeah, I thought he ran big last time. I loved him last time because I was really against Collaborate. And he ran a winning race. Collaborate just got back on the beam on the drop that day. Well, now we're going to go off the claim for Mike Maker. We're perfectly drawn for his style. And maybe, Principe d'Oro is the best horse. I don't think anybody's going to argue that. Maybe we catch him today at the right time, Ron.
Yeah, that's a $650,000 son of a Degliadoro making his first start. He drew clear to break his maiden, going a mile at Aqueduct in April. He's really been training forwardly at Palm Beach Down, so I just thought he'd run very well. So I put him on top of my ticket, Javier Castellano. I'll go to the 9 next with Judge Davis, who is grade 3 stakes placed at this distance, stretches out. I thought a sharp local return. He dueled throughout, and he finished second at 33 to 1. So I found the stat on Shug McGay. Sprinter route on the dirt right here at Gulfstream Park. Small sample, but very good. I knew it would be good. 6 for 18, 33%, 67% in the money. 262 is the return of investment.
Yeah, that's a small but good sample. Now, Judge Davis and Bourbon Creed, they both come out of the Nitrous Channel race. Nitrous Channel will be 1 to 5, and that's how good he is. So for them to run in the money behind him, that says they can run too.
Yeah, the legend, lightly raced son of Jimmy Creed. Yep. Julian Leperoux, he rides for Ian Wilkes in that race. The last first race everybody in America is on, well, at least up here is, a mile on the turf, maiden special weight, 3-year-olds. And that's the horse I was alluding to is Carl Spackler, who's turning back to the mile after the promising mile in his 16th debut, in which he dueled throughout and finished second beaten ahead. So I found the stat on Chad Brown with his second-time starters, roots on the turf at Gulfstream. So I narrowed it really down. He's 6 for 32, 19%, 41% in the money. 109 is the low return of investment. But he does this and he can run well. The big thing last week is that he hasn't had a first-time starter here. 2 years is 3 years.
3 years.
So this is a second-time starter.
Yeah, so for old Carl to throw an 88 buyer down on debut and be a month clear of third, I know the stat is 3 years. This horse ran a winning race, 6-5 on the line. He's odds on in here, and he's an anchor today.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Brian. And then you got the number 1 Saint in the City of Son of Mendelssohn.
Well, he was just so bad on debut, but now Bill Mott's going to add Lasix. We're going to route. We're going to turf. The Blazing Sevens is a player in the Fountain of Youth. He was into championship honors for Chad Brown, and he's a grade 1 kind of horse. So maybe he wakes up now on the surface switch, Ron.
And gotta like him. You used in third, and I had it in second, and Samantha's got a video she wants to show.
We'll take a quick look at him in his last start, and that was the first start for Jose D'Angelo, first start on turf. He basically ran off. Now, he had never seen a first turn before, and he must have really liked it, Ron, because he's chasing a fire here down the backstretch. But lo and behold, okay, he's gonna stop. But lo and behold, he gets beaten 6 3/4 lengths after doing this. I all things considered, I thought that was a pretty good effort because
really
you would have really thought he would have dropped in the back.
Well, yeah, so we'll see how he runs this afternoon. We both had some interest in it. Let's go right to our, that's the 12 races, by the way. Let's go right to the lightning round. And we have early bird. We went to this a little earlier. First post is 11 a.m. on Fountain of Youth Day, Saturday, March 4th. So keep that in mind. We're going to be starting early, 9 stakes races, boy. And, Forte is supposedly coming back in the Fountain of Youth. And, of course, that's the 2-year-old champ.
Yeah, the Breeders' Cup winner for Todd Pletcher, quite possibly. I already mentioned Blazing Sevens, the Grade 1 winner for Chad Brown, might be running as well. It's stacking up as a really, really good race. Shug might have General Jim in there as well. So it is essentially, Ron, an automatic qualifier for the Kentucky Derby. The screws are starting to get tightened here in Hollandale Beach.
As everyone here knows, and now everybody around the world, and they probably know already, Luis Saez is one of the best jockeys in the whole world. And what did he do? He won the Saudi International Jockey Challenge yesterday, and here he is through the stretch run, and he nailed it with 37 points. And this was a good race coming up on the inside.
No doubt about it. And if you're here at Gulfstream Park, you can bet on the Saudi Cup as well, which is about 12:35 p.m., I believe, today. And here's Luis, and he's as good a guy as he is a jockey, too. And, our defending champion, and we like Luis.
Yeah, so that was it. Now, best bet today for you?
Yeah, best bet is I got my long shot. Oh, that's right. Oaxa in race number 6 on the Tapeta.
Yeah, my best bet this afternoon is it's Carl in the last, so we'll see how that runs at 6-5. If we get that, I'll be dancing in the streets. Long shot today for you?
Long shot's about 23 minutes here at number 3, Impulsiveness, who's taking a lot of early money, very early in the betting, though.
And I've got the horse that Brian hates, Wonka, and there he is at 8-1 on the line. And of course, in a little while, as you mentioned, you got to get your selections in because Samantha, it's Beat the Expert, and Samantha is in, and you got to try and beat her today for a chance to win one of those cool Gulfstream Park polo shirts, and lots of fun and absolutely free.
Yeah, absolutely free, and still got time, so you can see the website on the bottom. Samantha will be popping in a little bit later on, and she was catching up with Todd Pletcher today, so we'd like to see, hopefully we're going to see Forte drop in the entry box later this afternoon. And don't forget, that card's drawn today. Those PPs will be out tonight.
Yeah, and Claudia will be joining us a little later, too. So, Claudia, we got Samantha, who's be down here in just a few minutes after talking to Todd, and it's going to be a great day. We already got $100,000 in the Pick 5 pool, and we still got 25 minutes before first post.
I'm thinking maybe $750 might be in that pool. And Pete Aiello is upstairs to run you through the scratches and the changes. Ronnie and I will be back for the opener in about 10 minutes.
Introducing the first racing tool from Pegasus to Preakness. Iconic venues. World-class racing. Millions at stake. new champions will be crowned. Only at first.